First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rachahakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well. And as always, we give peace and salutations unto the elect, starting with the Tabernacle of David, all right, as well as the large multitude, the rest of the men, women, and children, whom the Lord will have mercy on. All right, and that body is known as the remnant, all right, preserved by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to get the victory over the beast, his image, his mark, and all of the wicked perversions that are being spread throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, and in preparation for this great reset, New World Order, we know that ultimately rebellion against the Heavenly Father is at the forefront of it all. All right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans have been duped, all right, into not only accepting but crying and rejoicing in an agenda that goes directly, all right, against the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob through his son, all right, and that represents righteousness, life, family structure, all right, male and female, all right, which the main rebellion of this whole system we see being put in place, all right, goes against that, as they, when you look at what they're doing, gender pretty much will not exist, all right. As you can see, there's rulings and legislation and all sorts of bills being put on the books. This Nancy Pelosi character recently passed one to where you can't use terms as policeman or anything dealing with separating male from female. In the coming days, that won't be. And as the scriptures say in Matthew, I believe the 19th chapter, in the beginning, he created them male and female. All right. But this New World Order says no. All right. And who's at the forefront of screaming and marching and crying for this agenda? It's you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. But anyway, as you can see, and I just want to warn you, brothers and you sisters who listen, it's about to get real creepy out here, man. It's about to get real freaky. Now, we've already seen perversions being uplifted, but what's to come, in preparation for this destruction that's to come, we're going to see even more. Pedophilia will be, it's already normalized, but it'll be legalized. We're going to see some very, very heinous acts, take place on the earth, but it has to happen in order for, as it says in 2nd Esdras, the 4th chapter, if that which is wicked, that place which is sown in wickedness be not turned upside down, then cannot it come, all right, that is sown with righteousness. And this all has to happen. The left hand has to play out in order for the right hand, all right, to be justified as smashing. Now, as you see, I have here, Lady Gaga will sing the national anthem at Biden inauguration, and it all makes sense because me and a lot of other brothers believe that it's not a lady at all. But, that's to be determined. The Lord knows. But we understand and know what this whole system is all about. Even when you go into the Baphomet, it's a dual-gendered God. A lot of their gods deal with duality and gender because they have no respect for the order of the Heavenly Father. See, that's what the serpent represents. He's there to tell you we do not have to be bound to these labels that the Heavenly Father created. We can live outside of those means and labels, all in the name of love and freedom. And, they're getting ready to usher in some serious witchcraft and some serious left-hand rebellion against the Heavenly Father. Okay, now, Lady Gaga will sing the national anthem at the Biden inauguration. Now, dealing with inauguration, which is not so much about her or this, but If you know what Babylon the Great is all about, if you've ever seen this character, Lady Gaga, you know what it represents. It's just full out, all out wickedness and weirdo freakism. Now, dealing with inauguration, I looked up augur definition, going back to prove to you that we're in Rome. Okay. It says in ancient Rome, a religious official who observed natural signs, a witch, especially the behavior of birds, interpreted these as an indication of a divine approval of a proposed action. All right, that's where inauguration goes back to. You know, you can even look it up in ancient Rome. Let's see here. The augur, because it's an inauguration, was a priest and an official in a classical Roman world. His main role was the practice of augury, interpreting the will of the gods by studying the flight of birds. All right, we know they worship the eagle. They're synonymous with the eagle, whether they were flying in a group or alone, what noises they made or they flew. So basically, it's just witchcraft. All right, and let's see here. Religious cloud of duty was to observe, and that's what I just did a lesson. Going into the serpent. That's what the serpent was. It was one who observed. Going back to it real quick, and I'm gonna bring it all together in just a minute. But when you go to that word serpent in Genesis, the third chapter, and I love bringing this out, so you'll see me go to it a lot. Nakash, it's basically a witch to practice divination, to observe signs on the left hand, to learn by experience, diligently observe, practice fortune telling, take as an omen, practice divination, observe signs or omens. And this is the system that's being set up on the left hand side, but the Heavenly Father is going to stop them. Also, my brother hit me to this earlier. When you look up the word Gaga, all right, Gaga means crazy, silly, senile. All right, and when you go to senile, it's an old man. All right, for the most part, senile, foolish, probably imitative of meaningless babbling. All right, now what does babble represent in the scriptures? Confusion. That's what it means. Let's look it up real quick. So there's a lot happening, that or telltale signs to where we are in the spirit, Babal. All right. Babel means what? Confusion by mixing. Okay, confusion by mixing. Now this is speaking of Nimrod. And what does Nimrod's name mean in the grand scheme of things? Rebellion. Rebellion. Okay? And in the scriptures, all right, Jeremiah describes this place in Jeremiah, I believe the 50th chapter. Shout out to my main man, Yar Zion, for putting me on this. This is Jeremiah 50. And let's see here. Yep, as he's speaking of this Babylon the Great, he names it Marathiam.
Disobedience.
All right, he's speaking of its destruction, showing you what was it speaking of ancient Babylon. When you read this, this is speaking of this Babylon. All right, when you go to it, Marathiam, double rebellion. All right, so this is the daughter of Babylon, who would be in even more rebellion against the Heavenly Father. And that's what you see happening with this whole Biden, fiasco. Now, when you look at Biden's cabinet, okay, look at who's on his cabinet. I don't even have to read it, One of the first out black men in Congress. All right. He got Jake, all right, Latino member. Okay. First non-binary. Now, what is binary? Let's look it. I'm gonna look it up here real quick. I know it, but I don't want to butcher it. Relating to or composed or involving two things. All right, binary system, something having two parts. The first non-binary state lawmaker, Muslim. All right, here, first out trans person of color. This is Biden's cabinet. Another, you see it. All-state quarterback in high school. Now look at him. All right, nigga used to lay roofs. Look at him. Look at this. Okay. And you all look at this as victory. You all look at this as victory. Now remember, Biden was this guy's vice president, and what was forwarded in the earth at the time of this guy right here? All right, rebellion against the Heavenly Father. All right?
Gay marriage.
So as the scriptures say here, I'll link it all together real quick. I don't want to make this too long. As the scriptures say here, and you see the constant notifications because brothers are on fire, whether it be sharing videos or doing videos, because that's what we do. This is our purpose in the story. 2 Ezra 6 and 9. And he said unto me, because Ezra is asking, what shall be the end of these times, right? 2 Ezra 6 and 7. And then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, they were born for the purpose of the two major players in prophecy. All right? When Jacob and Esau were born, of him Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Esau is the end of the world, right? So the Messiah's second coming will be likened, all right, will be to an Edomite rulership. But what would it be likened unto according to the Holy Scriptures?